Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nadia Hadisty Azzahra, and in this video, I will do the presentation of my thesis examination. The title is "The Effect of Post-Traumatic Events in the Shaping of Main Character's Identity in the Person of Being Wallflowers" by Stephen Chbosky. And without any further ado, let's jump to the point. This is a suggestion and recommendation from my examiners. There are Pak Gindo, Bu Seswita, and Pak Adria Sandika. And the first examiners is Pak Gindo. And the first point from Pak Gindo is he wants me to improve the theoretical framework by adding citation and ideas by psychological literary critics. And I revise it by adding the ideas and psychological literary critics in page 10 until 11. And the second point is fix the error such as I assumes and writing a book title without utilizing it. So I has the page 4. In the page 4, I wrote I assume. Instead I assumes, I wrote it I assumes. So it has been revised to I assumes. And all novel titles have been italicized. And the last point is there should be a general reflection on trauma and how fidelity and identity are achieved for a youngster with trauma, in addition to the specific of case of Charlie. And in page 17, I revise it by adding the identity achieved and the fidelity achieved in addition of Charlie case. So identity achieved as in the form of goals attached oneself and the desire to control the direction of life and goals to be achieved in the future. Meanwhile, the fidelity achieved is a form of the adolescent's ability to be faithful, to commit to their environment as well as to themselves. And the second examiners is Bu Seswita. She wants me to divide the research question into 3 parts, and I revised it by dividing the research questions into 3 parts. The first is talk about what traumatic events happened to Charlie, and the second, how do the traumatic events impact Charlie's identity and how Charlie's cope with them. And the last is how the process of shaping of Charlie's identity, which is influenced by traumatic events that occurred on his life. And the last point, and also the second point from Bu Seswita, is she wants me to rearrange the subchapter. So I revise it by rearranging the subchapter, the chapter 4 actually, into 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3. The 4.1, I talk about the traumatic events faced by Charlie and also the dynamics of personality as the impact of the trauma to his identity. And in the 4.2, I talk about repression as Charlie's self-defense mechanism. And the last is I talk about the results of the shaping of Charlie's identity in psychosocial development by Erik Erikson. And the last examiners, Pak Adria Sandika, he wants me to adding the significance of knowing the defense mechanism, the Charlie's defense mechanism for our understanding. So I revise it by adding a paragraph which explain about the significance of knowing self-defense mechanism in theoretical framework, which is the chapter of self-defense mechanism. And the last point from Pak Adria Sandika is he wants me to discuss about PTSD, which is the crucial things in this thesis. In general, to identify PTSD, me as a researcher must carry out a deeper analysis of PTSD symptoms and pay attention to diagnosis of the symptoms, then draw the conclusion about the PTSD. Actually, this can take more time because it is directly related to the scope of psychology. And another things that the main focus of this research is on the shaping of Charlie's identity, not discussing about the mental issues of that happen in Charlie's life So I think it is enough to talk about the shaping of child's identity. Thank you. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.